Hello and welcome back to the Movie Pope podcast. And today we are going to be taking a look at the trailer for Weapons. Now, contrary to what you're thinking, it's not a war movie. It's actually a mystery horror film, if Wikipedia and IMDb are to be believed. But the story is basically about a small town that's trying to figure out what to do after some kids disappear. Now, Lee, this is a trailer or movie you haven't really known too much about, right?
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. Up until this moment, I have not known about this existence. I've not seen the trailer or anything. So, yes, I think that's pretty accurate to say, hey, I don't know much about this. I don't know anything about it. So this will be totally uh, a
Well,
true unknown reaction to anything I'm about to witness.
well, I did watch the trailer earlier this week, and I'm going to refrain from saying anything because I really this is more just to get your reaction, to get your thoughts on this. So, without
Okay.
further ado, Weapons.
I do like the idea of a mystery horror, though.
But the name is misleading, though. You know.
So this one Wednesday
Yes.
is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty.
She killed all the
Okay.
kids.
And do you know why?
Mysterious. I mean,
Because
it
the
does
night
go with the
before,
mystery.
At 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark.
Yeah.
And they never came back.
It's a little eerie knowing that it's a kid that's doing the narration with a bunch of kids.
Not just her classroom. Why only hers?
Yeah, it's Thanos.
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think
Yep,
it's best
and-
if you keep some distance from this
Benedict
place.
Wong. That's eerie.
Okay, that's really eerie.
I don't know. A little bit. I was about to say, in this day and age, they have to have some.
Where did you go?
Oh my gosh, there's. Okay, I can definitely see the horror elements now.
This is where the story really starts.
Interesting.
So, my thoughts were when I saw this trailer. And this is just my my thoughts here. I assume that there's something going on with the teacher where where she's got some sort of like dark possessive aspect to her psyche that's causing all this to happen, right? Kind of I guess the best way to describe it is it's kind of like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of scenario
Mm-hmm.
where where she kind of creates like this little bubble where she's like trying to find a way to cope with the fact that all these kids keep disappearing, and her conscious is kind of manifesting to where it's like, hey, maybe it's you who did something to these kids, but you're just not admitting it to yourself. That was my takeaway from it, like because because I'm thinking the entire time, like, she definitely did something to those kids. Like she must have done something. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, like they explained, and I mean, granted, like we're listening to the narration of possibly one of the victims,
yeah,
but like it seems like, I mean, if everyone like left or disappeared at the same time, then what else could be there? I mean, you could be absolutely right. Like she could have some unknown thing that she's doing that's causing this to happen, or it just could be something we didn't even see in the trailer. Like they're just trying to save that for what it is, and maybe she's one of the heroes. But
yeah, like a misdirect. Yeah.
I mean, because that's always like, especially with stuff like this, like it could be really just about anything where they try to like just pull the wool over your eyes, and then it's like, oh, but psych out, it actually was not that. So I mean,
So let me ask you this, because I mean, because there were some shots that came up, and you said, there I can definitely see the horror elements. Like,
yes,
Like, do you definitely think this, this kind of freaked you out, or were you just like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense, it's a horror movie? And you kind of cross your arms and kind of lean back,
Yeah, I
nod
mean,
your
I
head.
don't. Yeah, I guess it depends on what level of freak out is, but I mean, I feel like after a while, like if you watch as much nonsense as we watch, like we've seen some shit, right? Like
Mhm.
we've seen some spooky things. So I mean, there's nothing in there that was like, oh wow, I've never seen that before. But it definitely does come across very creepy. And I think when you have the kind of the intended audience being like the children in this circumstance, I think that does kind of add a little bit more to the uncomfortableness of it because you typically don't see that type of stuff, or you don't see it depicted as much as like adults and stuff like that for obvious reasons.
Right, right.
So I think that does add a little bit more to it, but yeah, I mean, it definitely got the horror vibe of it later on when you saw like the person with whatever that object was. I don't know if it was a knife, a fork, or some other type of thing that she was like looked like stabbing herself in the face.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
fork. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like I said, definitely got some interesting things in there, but I mean, to me, not anything. The mystery of it definitely is reeling me in more than the horror for sure. So, but I don't know, like something with that, I don't even know if it have a good payoff if it was anything interesting.
But I mean, like when it comes to making a horror film, I mean it's very easy to make it very very cheesy, because even with a movie like that where they're building up the suspense, it's very easy for us to be like, oh well, obviously it was this. It's very difficult to kind of do it in a way that's both genuinely terrifying and it's very interesting because it
Yeah.
because it reminds me of when we did our review of Abigail, right, where initially we thought it was just going to be another kidnapping movie, but then midway we come to find out, oh, it turns out the hunters become the hunted in this house,
Hmm.
and they have no way to escape. So, so with movies like that, I mean, a movie like Abigail, found a way to kind of strike that balance and make it work perfectly.
Yeah. No,
Whereas other movies, it's like it's kind of a toss up, and Weapons here is a toss up because even though it comes off, from the trailer as being very creepy, very spooky, and there are elements that are meant to kind of be jump scares and make you kind of leap in your seat. At the same time, it's like, well, it could easily go very, very wrong very quickly.
sure. I think Abigail kind of has the pleasure of being in like a category where it's kind of a mashup of other like things that you don't see blended together.
That's
Whereas I feel
true.
like
That's true.
mystery and horror kind of typically go together. So I think in that type of instance, it doesn't really stand out as being something unique. Though, like I said, I mean, if you're into that stuff, like if you're into those types of visuals, I mean, it could be something there. But I mean, I typically am not of that, like, I watch horror type of thing just because I just don't find it very appealing. So like unless like the mystery part like really rings true or they're able to do more with that, I mean it looks good. It has like a lot of the hallmarks that I think a lot of people that are interested in this type of film would be interested in. I just know it's probably not for me, but I'd be surprised, right? Like I mean, Abigail was certainly something I didn't have on my radar, and it wasn't really something I was expecting to watch, and I watched and really enjoyed it. So you never know.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for our for trailer reaction. Let us know down in the comments below. Are you interested in seeing Weapons? Do you think it's gonna lean more towards horror, or do you think it's just gonna be a big bust when it comes out in August? Let us know down in the comments below. And if there are any other trailers or movies you want us to discuss or react to, let us know down in the comments below. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.